Tiburcio Vásquez, the Robin Hood of old California. He was born in 1835, back when California still spoke Spanish. By the time he died, they called him an outlaw, a killer, a thief. But in the barrios, they called him something else, un defensor de su gente, a defender of his people. Some say he was the last Californio to stand up against injustice. Others call him California's first Chicano revolutionary. But was he a criminal or California's own Robin Hood? Early life and loss. Tiburcio Vásquez was born into a respected Californio family in Monterey. His grandfather had signed the California Constitution under Mexican rule, and his community had long held land and power. But in 1848, when California was ceded to the United States after the Mexican-American War, everything changed. The new American legal system made promises to respect land rights, but in practice, the courts bled Californio landowners dry. Legal fees, language barriers, and outright fraud stripped thousands of Mexican families of their land. Vásquez grew up watching his community lose everything.
In the late 1850s, a young Vásquez joined his first armed raid. By the 1860s, he had formed his own gang. They moved fast, riding across California, robbing stagecoaches, raiding wealthy ranches, tying up corrupt businessmen, and vanishing into the hills. But Vásquez insisted he wasn't a criminal. No soy un asesino. No he matado a un hombre, he claimed. I am not a murderer. I have not killed a man. He said he never harmed the poor and only targeted those who had exploited his people, greedy landowners, railroad speculators, and corrupt officials. While the English-language press painted him as a monster, in the Spanish-speaking villages of California, he was something else, a symbol of resistance. In some towns, people welcomed him. They saw him as someone who fought back when no one else could. A man who refused to be silent in the face of injustice. The Robin Hood of the West. But his actions grew bolder and bloodier. In 1873, during a robbery in the town of Tres Pinos, 3 people were killed. Vásquez denied that he pulled the trigger, but the law no longer cared. He became California's most wanted man. A reward was placed on his head. The manhunt was relentless. Still, he slipped through the cracks. He rode from town to town, from hideout to hideout, Los Angeles, Ventura, Santa Clarita, always just out of reach. Until 1874, while hiding in an adobe home in what is now West Hollywood, he was betrayed. Whether it was a jealous rival, a spurned lover, or someone hungry for reward money, the tip-off led to his quiet capture. He surrendered without a fight. The prisoner's voice. In jail, Vásquez didn't shrink, he transformed. Visitors lined up to see him, reporters, admirers, and even curious strangers. He sold photographs of himself, recited poetry, and gave interviews. More than anything, he wrote. He told his story, not just in English, but in the voice of his people. Mi causa es la causa de mi pueblo. My cause is the cause of my people. He sido cazado por hablar de justicia. I have been hunted for speaking of justice. In jail, he was not just a prisoner. He was a poet, a political voice, a living legend. But justice in 1870s California had little patience for legends. On March 19, 1875, Tiburcio Vásquez was hanged in San Jose. Witnesses say he was calm, dignified. Some say he smiled. His final word was simple: pronto. To the authorities, he was a dangerous criminal finally brought to justice. To his people, he was a martyr. a man who stood tall until the end. Today, his name still lingers across California. Vásquez Rocks in Los Angeles County, the Tiburcio Vásquez Health Center in Hayward, murals in East LA schools, parks, community centers. To some, he's a romanticized outlaw, nothing more. But to others, he's the man who stood up when the courts failed, when the laws betrayed, and when the world demanded silence. He rode for the voiceless. He robbed the powerful. He gave pride to a people pushed to the margin.
So what do you think? Was Tiburcio Vásquez a cold-blooded criminal? Or a Californian Robin Hood? Was he a thief? Or a rebel with a cause? Maybe the better question isn't what he was, but why he became necessary. Because sometimes, when justice fails, stories rise in its place, and legends never ride alone.